Switzerland's history is a wild ride, and we're about to dive into it in under 10 minutes. Buckle up. This stunning land has been home to humans for over 5,000 years. Picture this. During the Stone Age, groups of people known as pile dwellers set up their homes on stilts in the shallow waters of Lake Lugano, Lake Neuchâtel, and Lake Bienne. Pretty clever, right? These stilt houses kept them safe from wild animals and flooding, plus they had easy access to fish and other goodies from the lake. By around 2800 BC, they started crafting bigger boats, which opened up new trade routes along rivers and lakes. Their society was all about clans or tribes, each with its own chief, language, and customs. They shared a deep respect for nature and believed in spirits all around them, which made them a peaceful bunch focused on cooperation and sustainability. Fast forward to around 1800 BC, when the Hallstatt culture rolled in from what's now Austria and northern Italy. These folks were skilled metal workers and had some pretty elaborate burial rituals. But unlike the pile dwellers, they were more aggressive, often clashing with neighboring tribes over resources. They also developed a written language and a more complex political system, which was a big deal back then. By the 5th century BC, Switzerland was buzzing with Celtic tribes like the Helvetiae Allobroges and the Ened. The Helvetia were the top dogs, known for their fierce warrior spirit and impressive metalworking skills. The Alemanni, a smaller tribe in the east, were known for their artistic flair and love of nature. The Ened, based in central Switzerland, were the agricultural whizzes, producing wine and grain. But it wasn't all peace and harmony. These tribes were constantly battling each other and outside invaders. Then, in 101 BC, the Roman general Julius Caesar came knocking. Determined to squash a rebellion among the Helvetians, as Caesar's army marched through, they faced fierce resistance. But despite the Helvetians' stubbornness, Caesar's forces came out on top, pushing them into the mountains. After the defeat, the Romans settled in, creating the province of Augusta Raurica. Interestingly, many native Swiss managed to keep their independence, and some even teamed up with the Romans to fend off other Germanic tribes. By the 4th century AD, Switzerland was under the Western Roman Empire's rule. But as the empire weakened, it became more vulnerable to invasions. In 376 AD, the Burgundians crossed the Rhine and settled in southwestern Switzerland, bringing Christianity with them, which would significantly shape the region's culture. Following them were other Germanic tribes, including the Alemanni and the Franks. By the 5th century, Switzerland was part of the Frankish kingdom, ruled by a king. Despite all the political shakeups, the country remained mostly rural and agricultural. In 917, the Kingdom of Burgundy was established. Ruled by a dynasty starting with Rudolf I, this kingdom was small but wealthy, thanks to its control over trade routes in the Alps. By 1032, the kingdom split among Rudolf's heirs, and Switzerland became part of the Holy Roman Empire. Over the next few centuries, Switzerland became a key stop for pilgrims heading to Santiago de Compostela in Spain, leading to the rise of towns like Basel, Bern, and Lucerne, and the emergence of a merchant class. In 1477, the Swiss Confederacy was born when 3 cantons Uri, Schwyz, and Unterwalden signed the Eternal Confederation Alliance. Initially a defensive move, it soon became clear that the Swiss needed more muscle to survive. By 1481, 6 more cantons joined, and together they triumphed over an invasion by the Duke of Milan. By the 16th century, the Confederacy expanded to 13 cantons and emerged as a major power in Europe. With Swiss mercenaries sought after by many rulers, the 17th century saw Switzerland at the heart of the Protestant Reformation. In 1517, Martin Luther nailed his 95 Theses to the castle church door in Wittenberg, Germany, igniting a movement that spread like wildfire through Switzerland. Many reformers began questioning the Catholic Church's authority. By 1523, Zurich broke away to become a Protestant state, followed by other cantons like Bern and Basel. By the end of the 16th century, only Uri and Obwalden remained Catholic. The 18th century was a time of prosperity for the Swiss cantons, thanks to their control over trade in the Alpine passes. They managed to stay out of major wars like the War of the Spanish Succession and the 7 Years' War, allowing them to focus on growth and development. In 1798, the French Revolution shook things up when Napoleon Bonaparte invaded Switzerland. aiming to end its neutrality and bring it under his rule. The Swiss couldn't hold their ground against Napoleon's army and were quickly defeated. He set up a puppet government and used Switzerland as a base for his operations in northern Italy. But the Swiss weren't having it. By 1802, they pushed back. Napoleon had to restore their independence with the Treaty of Poitiers, which also made Switzerland a member of the Confederation of the Rhine. In 1814, after Napoleon's defeat, the Congress of Vienna met to discuss Switzerland's future. Luckily, they decided to keep it independent and even expanded its territory a bit, adding land previously ruled by Austria. The 19th century brought rapid industrialization and urbanization. New wealth sources in the Alps like mining and tourism fueled this growth. Switzerland's population nearly doubled, making it one of Europe's richest countries. In 1847, a political revolution led to a new constitution and a federal government, paving the way for stability and prosperity into the 20th century. Today, Switzerland is a highly developed country with a robust economy and a high standard of living. It's famous for its breathtaking scenery, banking services, and neutrality in global affairs. Tourists flock to cities like Zurich, Geneva, and Basel, which hosts numerous international organizations, including the United Nations and the Red Cross. Thanks for tuning in to this whirlwind tour of Switzerland's history. If you enjoyed this journey, give a thumbs up and subscribe for more fascinating stories about world history.